It feels like it's been a long time since we've had a good Lord of the Rings game. Lately, we've gotten games like the Gollum Lord of the Rings game, which a lot of people will argue is a major flop. They try to do Assassin's Creed elements, but with the Lord of the Rings, and without barely giving us any type of combat for him to be able to do. No brainer, this would have been a bad game. And we've also gotten the Return to Moria game. This is like a pseudo Minecraft slash meets Lord of the Rings meets survival type game. It's not that bad of a game, but for me, it's not one of those type of games that I want to pick up and play constantly. It's more of one of those chill, casual games that you play every once in a while. Very similar to Ark Survival Evolved, if you've ever played that. That begs the question, why has it been so long since we've gotten a new Lord of the Rings game that actually is good? I mean, this IP, Lord of the Rings, used to give us really staple games back in the day. We had the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, which I would argue made a lot of people's childhoods. Then they just expanded upon that game and went even further. Did the Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, which just took everything that The Two Towers did, gave it multiplayer, and made it even better. The game that I would argue is peak Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings Conquest, a Star Wars Battlefront 2 type of game, but with a Lord of the Rings skin on it. It was such a blast. I love that game to death. But now it's 2025, and I'm sitting in my basement, constantly wondering and dreaming of the next new Lord of the Rings game that actually draws in a big crowd and just makes me want to play it over and over. Through the years, I dabbled into Lord of the Rings Online. And by dabbled, I mean I have 653 hours played onto it. But after playing 653 hours, I'm pretty exhausted of that game. And I want a new experience. I want something more modern. It doesn't have to be breathtaking graphics, but something more modern and polished. Something that shows the beauty of Lord of the Rings and its IP. Well, good news. We have a new Lord of the Rings MMO coming up. Now, this video isn't going to be super highly edited because I just wanted to come and chat with y'all for a little bit. Amazon Game Studios, if you haven't heard, is already making a new Lord of the Rings MMO. And don't worry. At least a part of me is not worrying right now. And maybe that's the copium or hopium that I'm sucking up. But it's not by the Rings of Power team, or developers or writers at all. This is going to be made from the team that brought to you New World. And again, already, some of you are already striking that fear button and typing in the comment, but the New World game sucks. If it's like a New World team, then we're going to have a trash game. Lord of the Rings Online is peak. We don't need another new MMO. I receive these comments on a daily basis. So if you're thinking about commenting that, just go ahead and go to some other place because here, I want to be open for discussion and positivity of what could come. We need to give this game a chance before we even just criticize it to death and just make it be a bad game before launch. I've seen a lot of games this happen to. So, with the New World team, this game I feel like has a very good potential. Because New World, it didn't launch the best, but I've been playing it lately, and that game arguably, I've had the most fun that I've had on an MMO since Lord of the Rings Online. And it gives me that War in the North, Lord of the Rings type style of fighting. So I really, really am intrigued to see what this New World team is going to do with this Lord of the Rings MMO. I have read some articles and I have other previous videos that I'm going to pop up on screen right here that you can check out on just my wish list of what I want to see in this MMO and some top 5 zones I would like to see. Here they are right now. Bam, bam. You can go and pick which one you want to watch later after this video though. Don't click away. But I am still not done voicing my opinion about this game. See, we need to start telling and speaking out loud our opinions of this game right now, before this game is launched or too far into development to make the changes. If we truly want this game to be amazing and to be the best Lord of the Rings experience, we need to speak up now. So that's why I've been making these videos. That's why I'm going to continue to make these videos about this new Lord of the Rings MMO. Every single little detail that we scratch or search or find for this game, I'm going to be covering it right here. And I'm going to be voicing my opinion completely because I am a huge Tolkien fan and nerd. And I want to make sure this game actually respects the lore as well as it can. Granted, they have to make side quests and things like that. They're going to have to make their own stories out of it. But there's a way to incorporate the world of Middle-earth and do it justice by doing those quests. You know, I feel like even myself could probably make some side quests and it would feel like it belonged to Middle-earth. It shouldn't be too hard if you've actually respected the lore and read the books and read beyond just the Return of the King, Fellowship, and Two Towers. If you've read beyond that, I feel like you're in good standards. So start hiring some scholars of Lord of the Rings right now, New World team. Don't try to do it yourself. Get those scholars and let them be able to voice their input of what needs to be added into this game. So I don't want this just to be a ramble video though. I want you guys to get on board with me on this mission of creating the best MMO ever seen the man. Lord of the Rings is the biggest fantasy IP out there. No debate about that. Bigger than Game of Thrones, bigger than whatever crap you want to throw out there, bigger than Narnia, bigger than, you know, all this new stuff that's coming out. It's even bigger than World of Warcraft, okay? So Lord of the Rings MMO has the biggest chance of being the biggest MMO out there if they did it right. Please, if you're going to join this movement to make the best Lord of the Rings experience ever, then do not be just spamming the comments with, oh, Lord of the Rings Online, Lord of the Rings Online, Lord of the Rings Online. I need to be playing this game. I've been playing it for 15 years. I'm not going to leave it. I'm not going to leave it. Well, okay, well, most of those comments I get from are like 70-year-old or up ages people. Okay, I hate to break it to you, but you don't have probably more than 15 more years left to play the game. So the servers aren't even going to be on that long. So if we're being realistic, I love that game. Don't take that comment as like a jab. I do love that game. I love it to death, and I don't want to see it go away. But it's time, y'all. We need to jump off that wagon and get on to a new one where we start vocally expressing our opinions and our thoughts right now to be able to get something special. We can't just be silent and constantly be like assuming that this, just because it's made from an Amazon name attached to it, that's gonna be trash. We need to say, no, we're gonna make sure that this game's good. Amazon, you need to start listening to content creators that are making these type of videos. So I want to start right here now. I'm making a call to action. With just my small number of 367 subscribers, we need to start making our voices heard. So can we get to 1,000 subscribers and start this movement, the Lord of the Rings Online 2 movement, that we want the best thing ever out there possible? It's gonna come, it's gonna happen. Why? Because we're gonna make it happen. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Star Wars Battlefront 2, it's been making a big resurgence. So if we start expressing a loud enough voice, putting it into the comments of other videos, tagging, hey, make Lord of the Rings great again. No. If we start putting this into the comments and making our voices heard, we can actually make differences before they're implemented and too late into the game. So what type of things do you want to put into the game? For me, the most big thing is I want to be able to play two different alliances. I want them to go the World of Warcraft style approach and do Free People of Middle-earth versus, you know, the Dark Forces of Middle-earth alliances. I don't know what they're going to name that second alliance. It's kind of a hard one to do. And I want diverse factions. I want something that gives that PvP experience, kind of like Lord of the Rings Conquest, but make it separate from like the actual MMO. Make it still in the queue, and you can still bring in your cosmetics from the game, but I don't want no gear scaling or level scaling to be put in the multiplayer. I want it to be its own separate beast. Yeah, you can have some gear scaling and level scaling type PvP that's in the open world if you want to flag up for it, kind of like modern games are doing now, where you can do open world PvP, but only if you flag up for it. But I want the main focus of this game to be an immersive PvE storytelling game that brings you into the world of Middle-earth. And then the second main focus, I do want an amazing multiplayer. similar to Lord of the Rings Conquest. They can do it. We have the technology to do it now. I don't want bland. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like every MMO has the worst PvP experience. Like, I don't even feel like I'm playing a multiplayer game. It's just so weird. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy, but I hate it. I hate MMOs PvP experiences. They're just like, oh, this guy has better gear and better stuff and better stats. He's rated and been on this game doing his daily task forever, and so he's gonna kill me way faster. Dude, I hate that. I hate that about MMOs. We can do a good multiplayer in a game and still feel like our progress means something. Maybe give unique rewards to multiplayer compared to open world, and make it cosmetics. Nobody's gonna be mad if your open world's cosmetics or things or gear you've brought over is in the multiplayer. But we can do things where, take Lord of the Rings Conquest, for example. Maybe our characters that we've made in the open world are like the base characters that you select, but then you can unlock the heroes if you're doing really good. Kind of like if a kill streak, you're doing real good, you get to be Gandalf or you get to be Aragorn. You can do this stuff. Why not? Do something that an MMO hasn't done yet. Make it hybrid game. Don't just make another MMO. I think with that genre in particular is kind of getting washed out and tired because so many of them exist, but a lot of them fail to succeed or keep going on. So make a hybrid game. I would say make an open world Lord of the Rings game that's shared with multiplayer elements into it and other people get to be in it. So yes, that's kind of the summary of an MMO, but also do a multiplayer experience separate from it, kind of like Halo 3. You have like campaign and then you have multiplayer. Let's do open world is the MMO main source of it, where you have a player house and things like that. I'm not saying take any of that stuff away, but then also have a tab where you go into Game Finder where it's kind of like multiplayer, and that's where you get that Lord of the Rings Conquest style of gameplay, but with your character progressed over into there, and maybe even if you have multiplayer characters, you can kind of choose which character, which certain class. Conquest, you had like the mage, you had the warrior, you had the archer. Maybe you have like a hunter, or something, and you get to choose that. Hey, I want this skin of my hunter, the gear of my hunter to be looking like the appearance of the hunter class that I'm playing into the multiplayer. Or hey, I have this champion. I'm using LOTR classes as references because that's what I know. As the warrior class, I want his skin and his gear to be kind of matching what's on there. Why this is a great system. I feel like it would work very well. And so on with the lore master heroes. We make the iconic heroes from the game. You have the IP rights. Make the iconic heroes as a game from a kill streak or something like that. I think, again, I keep referencing Star Wars Battlefront 2 and Lord of the Rings Conquest because I think those type of multiplayer experiences do things that no other multiplayer experiences can do. And if we're doing MMO, we can make it still feel like large-scale battles and large-scale things that you've taken from the environments of the game that you put in the open world part and you put it into the maps. It makes no sense that we haven't gotten a game that's done this so far. Maybe, and please, if you disagree with me with like, hey, MMO multiplayer doesn't actually suck and I really like traditional MMO multiplayer, well then comment that. But for me, I always felt like multiplayer MMOs are kind of worthless to touch. I never felt rewarded from them. I never felt a reason to play them. They kind of just suck. Like I want something that I can play a match, get like 0 rewards, but still have a blast playing it, and I want to just keep playing it because it's fun. Does that make sense? Like something that, again, they're back in the old games, you played games because they were fun, not because you felt like you were doing a task or a chore or because you're gonna get this skin. Give us rewards like skins and things, or drops or stuff that we can carry over into the open world and appearances that we can use for the multiplayer. But I don't think that should be above fun. Most and foremost, I think you need to do fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little talk. And this game is actually real and it is coming out. A lot of people keep saying, oh, but I thought that game was canceled. It was canceled, but that was when they were collaborating with some Chinese company, Tencent, and they were trying to do that back in 2020 is when they first greenlit the project. Well, after about 2023 is when they re-greenlit the project, and they're deciding, hey, we're not going to collaborate with this team. We're going to use our New World team They did a pretty good job bringing that game back to life, and that game is actually have pretty good player count numbers. And for y'all that say New World's dead, it has more player count numbers than Lord of the Rings Online currently. So I mean, you guys gotta eat some humble pie there. Even me, I gotta eat some humble pie, and they're doing something right. Okay, so I'll see you guys later. Don't worry, I'm gonna catch you up. I'll probably have some more frequent videos this week are gonna be coming on their way. Not all of them are gonna be just about this new MMO. Some of them are gonna be about some Lord of the Rings games that I loved playing as a childhood. So keep an eye out for that. And other games, you know, I still have to continue my LOTR zone region series that I'm doing. Don't worry, I haven't forgot about it. I'm doing Luin right now as we speak. And if also, I'm going to be covering some Lord of the Rings movies as well. That we have The Hunt for Gollum coming out in about a year or so, and there's some breaking news that I would like to share here and cover here. So keep an eye out for that. Until next time, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go finish painting my shower. I'm redoing my basement right now. This is just one section that I redid. This place used to look like crap. Maybe it still looks like crap to some of you, but like I've been redoing my whole basement, and I'm gonna do my shower right now. I have a shower room, reinstalling tile flooring because right now it's just concrete flooring. Okay, anyways, you don't care about that. See you guys later. I love y'all. Can we get me to 1,000 subscribers? That would be amazing. Can we get this movement going on the new Lord of the Rings games again? Make them awesome again. Let's push our output out into the world. Let's push our feedback so this game can be the best game that we ever could have imagined, and do Tolkien justice. All right, bye.